What up YouTube? I'm here to make a video on the Powerblock adjustable dumbbells. I feel like I've had enough time to make this video. I have some thoughts on them, mostly positive. I have almost nothing negative to say, which if that's all you're looking for, yeah, I'd say spend $800 on them. They're totally worth it. No common complaints people have with them is that they're not like normal dumbbells, but as a guy who's been in his garage for over 5 years at this point, I haven't had access to dumbbells, and I don't necessarily remember ever using dumbbells all that honestly, because most of my training is powerlifting focused, and for a while it was Olympic weightlifting, and I finally returned back to powerlifting, and my big thing was that I wanted some real accessory work with bench press and get some direct arm work with curls and some triceps, just so I can start building my bench press back up after a long hiatus with Olympic weightlifting, because my arms have gotten weak and I needed to build it up since I'm not trying to bloat max like I did before. That's why I bought the Powerblocks essentially. So let's give you a quick tour of what they are. And I ended up getting the 5 to 90 pound adjustable set. So I think I have some good thoughts on it. So it's gonna be an unedited video. You've seen the rest of them. I don't really edit. I just kind of go off the dome. So let's get started. So these are what they are. I mean, this is the 5 to 90 as I just said. And the real big game changer here is that I really like how, one, this is made in the United States of America, and this is where I live. In case you guys can't tell, I really like my country. So seeing that there really, really makes a difference. And essentially, you might be wondering, how the fuck do I use these things? And that's a good question, because when I first got them, it was really, really, really confusing. So essentially, and this is kind of awesome how they break it down. They have all these weight increments, and unlike normal dumbbells, you actually have these 17.5, 27.5, 37.5, 47, etc. And the cool part about it is that for me personally, when I'm doing, because I train for strength, I like having those in between lumbers, because sometimes I'll do a set at like 80 and then my back off set's going to be at 67.5 based on the percentage, like 5% I'm taking off. Or if I'm doing 70, the only percentage I'll go down here. In normal cases, you'd have to go all the way down there. And even when you're just trying to simply linear progress, it's easy to max these things out to 90. That said, these weights stand for an empty handle, 1 adder, and 2 adders. And those adders, to make this video pretty simple, I took them out already, are these things here. And each of these weighs 2.5 pounds. People can correct me if I'm wrong, but 2.5 pounds each, so you can get those 27.5 increments. And they're pretty easy. I haven't had any issues with them. And honestly, there's 2 of them. Now here's the thing. Let me take one of these guys out, and then we can really get to where things get complicated. So real quick, changing weights on this is pretty easy. Pick the color, connect it, and lift. If you want another color, let's say you want this yellow one here, you clicked it into the yellow, and you're gonna have more weight. If it's ugly, it's because I'm using both hands. But that's the basic gist of it. Now, how do you get 5, 7, and 10 pounds on this thing? So you take it off, and the nice part is they don't label that here. They just immediately start with one of these added, which is kind of annoying. They should have 5, 7, and 10. But this is the adjuster weight, how it looks individually. I've seen a lot of videos make a big deal about this. I personally don't think it's that bad. It's a square, and maybe if you're used to regular dumbbells, this could be super annoying. So essentially, that's where the adder weights go. And that little plastic piece is what keeps them in. Supposedly, there's a magnet in there too. And if you shake them, you can kind of hear it moving around. That said, badly edited video, you'll probably find someone else who takes this more serious. I got the knurling version, and for my hands personally, this knurling's passive is best. It's not a Rogo power bar, that's for goddamn sure, but it's not as passive as a Bells of Steel Olympic weightlifting bar. That knurling is basically non-existent. So this is relatively passive knurling, but it's better than the shittiest knurling I've used, but it's not as good as Rogue's. But you having the option for this is actually really, really nice. So in order to get those handles out that I was talking about, there's this open, closed system. So and this is kind of annoying, you pull it open, and once you open it, those little plastic pieces that I showed you are no longer in there, and you can just pour them out, right? And you pour them back in, and you close, assuming it's closed. So and they won't close if they're not all the way in, so it's kind of annoying. There you go. See, if you don't have them all the way in, it won't close. Now, people may be questioning, how's this good for curling, right? If you look at this block, is it even if you don't have one of those in there? And I'll be 100% honest, I don't feel an imbalance whatsoever. People make a big deal about having these things not have both of those handles in there. And for my honest opinion, this thing works perfectly fine with one or both in there. Some people are like, I only go in 10-pound increments. I'm like, that's stupid. If you have the idea to go in progressive overload with smaller increments, especially on pressing movements, this thing is crazy good. So I think people need to realize, doing a curl with this, like watch this. It's not, I don't really feel an imbalance. I guess some people get really triggered because they have these handles on top of this middle handle, but I actually think it kind of is nice to have your wrist to rest on something while you're curling. For tricep movements, I've done a lot of LTE, lie tricep extensions, single arm with these guys. And to be honest, they feel pretty good, even with those guys out or in or one just in. The highest I've chest pressed, a 75 by 10. I literally just incline chest pressed, freaking 70 by 12 with these guys. I mean, they're pretty well used. For pressing movements, I give them a good pass. Even for curling movements, they're good. Lying tricep extensions are good. The only thing that I have an issue with is that I feel like if I were to drop this, it won't survive. But I've heard people say these are basically indestructible, but I'm not trying to drop it is the thing. And that's kind of what I would say. If you're planning on dropping this shit, don't buy it. Buy a Snowed or buy one of those rep things that are going to be able to survive massive drops. Because personally, I wouldn't risk dropping that. I feel like this is not meant to be dropped. I mean, they say you can drop it from 3 inches. Something tells me doubt, but that's just kind of my overall thoughts. A nice thing people might be questioning, I mean, with this is that, let me show you. So you put it in here, like we said before. So watch this. Here's a nice, people make a big deal. It's a nice flat plate that you can lay on your knees. So when you have a nice flat plate, all that means is that, let me get that better. You can kick it up when you're about to do incline presses, any type of movement. So that's really nice versus having the stupid handle eat into your legs like they normally do. And look at that, made in USA again. But that's basically a Powerblock. Would I buy these new? I mean, I bought these for fucking brand new. I was kind of dumb and I didn't want to get them secondhand marketed. And overall, I didn't want to buy them used, so I ended up buying them new for $847. I live in Illinois, so taxes and shit, it's $847. I don't know, if you can buy them off the Facebook Marketplace, I think it's a better deal. Here's the thing. I think for the price, they're still worth it because as far as adjustable dumbbells go, Snows only go up to 80 and they don't have the ability to increase in weight in like as many increments as these. They only go up in 10 pounds. Nuabels, I didn't even want to risk it. They look like garbage to me. Like they look like plastic shit that's going to break. And they only go up to 80, 85 pounds. And I was like, well, the extra 5 pounds for about the same price and they're breakable. I didn't really want to risk that. The rep ones, the rep quick draws were an option, but they only went up to 60, 65 pounds and I'm way stronger than that. So I wanted something, useful. So I ended up going with the Powerblocks. Now, I went with the Elite Powerblocks 90 made in USA. And I was considering going for the brand new ones they just released. They go up to 100 pounds. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't I do that? Well, because if you wanted the 100-pound set, the difference in price was stupid. Between it was damn near $1,000 for 100-pound Powerblocks. And I think there's downgrades. You saw that little nice finish they have with the coating. The little adder weight, no adder weight. They didn't come with any. You just have to fucking know the weights. And I don't like that because I don't have this shit memorized. And for the extra 10 pounds of weight, you're literally wasting like $100+. It's kind of insane. So I went with the Elite 90s because realistically, when the hell am I going to be chest pressing or curling 100 pounds? Probably never, because that's why I have a barbell, right? These for me are like for reps. I'm talking like 10s, 12s, just to get more volume in my chest and my arms to help my bench press movement, which is what I compete with, right? The heavy lifting will be done with the barbell, not necessarily with these. You'll see that shit over there. That's what all that weight is for. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on these. Would I buy them brand new again? Yeah, I think I would. But if you can get them secondhand marketed, I think that's probably the better price to pay. I wouldn't get the 100-pound set. That's stupid until they like match the price or less pro. I don't think the handle weights are as annoying as people say. And I trust them for curling. I trust them for tricep work. I trust them for pressing work. And I mean, oh, here's where people have the main issue is that they try doing leg movements with them. And to keep it 100 with you, I don't really think leg movements on power blocks or any adjustable dumbbell is smart. I mean, if you're going to do legs, just fucking squat. If you're going to do legs, don't waste a goblet squat. Don't waste your time. Don't do walking lunges. I mean, I hate to be this guy, but just get under the barbell, load some heavy ass weight, and squat. There's literally no reason to fucking use dumbbells for those movements. And that's where the majority of people's complaints, I think, come from, where it's like, oh, it only goes up to 90. How do you creep it for goblet squats? Just use the barbell. Why? I don't understand the need for that. Like, if you're gonna do lunges, use the barbell. If you're gonna do squats, use the barbell. Don't do it on those. Those are meant for pressing, and those are meant for arm work, direct arm work. And if you're gonna use it for that, then yeah, it's totally worth the money. If you don't use it for that, then it's a waste of fucking time. Anyways, that's my overall thoughts. I would buy them. I think you should buy them too. I still think they're probably the best on the market, unless Snowed comes out with something that has more weight increments and are indestructible. If not, your best bet is for those who want weight increments. And I wouldn't even waste my time on Newell's. They look fucking like Toys R Us toys. And I ain't trying to spend $800 for them. They immediately break if I accidentally put them on my bench. Anyways, peace out. Subscribe. That's my thoughts.